to what Arty Noobs for general disturbance. This is the GW Panther, the GW Panther. It's the Tier 7 German SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Mines, and this one is under the command of Oksydor. And he has 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of his 15cm howitzer. Game on. Well, the GW Panther, based on the Panther hull, can do 600 alpha and penetrate 39mm of armor. This is a Tier 7 game with some Tier 5 tanks in it. Okay, it looks like he's not going to move too far away from the cap area to start with, but he'll probably move about as and when he needs to. Okay, first victim is a leopard. Oh, good solid shot right into the side. Nicely guessed as well that he was actually going to turn to the right, not to the left. Changing position, pulling back. The leopard's just lost his stun. Oh, he just got hit as well. So we missed out some stun assist there, but we're almost loaded. Rounds out. Oh, that one zipped right over the top of his turret. And I think he's decided that it's too hot round here. He's going to have to get away. Standard reload time, 25.89 seconds. And we can see that the Oksydors managed to get about 21 seconds. 21. Okay, well that one landed just to the left of the P-43, but he managed to splash it for 63 hit points, and he's changing position straight away. I just heard the rumble of Arty, which sounds like the enemy. Oh, he did. He tried to counter battery us, but the shell went to where we were last. So Oksydor's doing the right thing by relocating rather. Okay, he's relocating again, but don't get too close to the spot he just fired at, because he might try the same spot again just in case. He missed the T-34-85M because it fell short on that shot. Okay, he's looking to put another shell in that general direction. But I think... Oh, he's changed his mind now. He's going to go for a Chi-2. I'd aim for slightly further back than that, but he's... Rounds out. Oh, yes, he did try to counter battery us again. So that's 2 counter battery shots he's made. He did fire one in the exact same spot, but thought, well, maybe I'll try again, just a little further away, and it worked. He actually did fire it in our general direction, and he probably saw Oksydor's tracer, and that might make him want to do it again. Okay, there's a Basotto there, which is the Tier 6. He did pull back in that direction, but whether or not that one hit, I don't know. Might be a splash. Okay, we've got 2 enemy tanks together on the south end of the middle island, and they're both very low on hit points, and now they're even lower. He's going to go for the T-34-85M, and he gets both of them. That's a bombardier. Oh, the Striv will like that because he just picked up double the hit points, and it's the Striv who spotted for us, and he was in reload at the time. Oksydor thanks him. So, a bombardier medal and 2 kills. Nice start. That T-78's come up. He's got fairly thin armor. If we can put a round into him, he'll probably... won't die of fright. Oh, but the Stug took the hit for him. That went right into the side of the Stug. And he did 268 hit points of damage to him, and he's got some stun assist afterwards. And the T-78 only took 70 hit points of damage. But the Stug, oh, it was a bad day for him. But round out. Oh, he got him! He didn't move away, and he got splash killed there. So it wasn't much in the way of hit points. And there's the T-78, and he's all very low. He's gone. Okay, we've got the bathtub, the S-35CA, and he's getting badly hit. Rounds out. And another splash kill. It landed short, but it got him for 164. So that's 4 kills now. Oksydor's on a roll. Okay, 720 M41. Trying to use that tree for cover. I think Oksydor's concerned about that leopard coming around the corner. It's not the tier 10 leopard, it's the 1602, not the leopard 1. He's firing one into the corner generally, where the G2 was. Now, the M41 was behind the tree last time we saw it, a little further over to the left. Almost loaded. A KV-1S has appeared over the other side next to the cap area. He's got to let it settle. Okay, the Striv might be able to spot that M41 for us, and if he does see him, there he is. Rounds out. Well, he got some splash and some stun assist off that one, and the 720 is down. Now, apparently there was another one of those in the general area. You're seeing a lot of these around on the battlefield at the moment, mainly because people are grinding them to try and get up the line. He's loaded, rounds out straight away on the 720. It falls short, but the 720 gets taken out by one of ours. Okay, we've got a Basotto, he's gone. Now we've got a G2. There's the SMV CC56, which is the tier 7 Italian. Rounds out. That landed just behind him. It didn't damage him, but it certainly did stun him, and he got rid of the stun straight away. The G2 is still on that corner, though. And he's low on hit points, so that's why Oksydor's gone back to that spot, because it makes sense to take out of the game a gun. He's gone back to the SMV instead. Oh, it hits the rock face, so that shields the enemy from the shell. I tend to aim for the walls behind, the rock face behind it, because there's a fairly good chance if the shell falls short, it'll go straight into the enemy rather than hit the rock face. But you still get a bit of splash. Rounds out. This should be splashing. Yes, it did. 128. There's only 4 enemies left. It's been a struggle to try and get their cap area because they are doing their best to make a stand. But it's looking now as if we will be able to beat them. And there's another splash kill. He's got the G2. So that's 5 kills now. 1/3 of the enemy team and 1 short of getting a top gun. There's the SMV. KV-1S looks like he's trying to attack our KV. Yes, he has got him. And it looks like he's trying to escape. Or maybe he's just going to come in around this corner. Use it for cover while he's defending against our guys coming in from the west. Yes, I think that's what he's doing. He's going to move back round the corner. And the reason I think he's doing that is because he probably knows this is an SMV CC56 coming down from the hill right now, and he'll probably try and come up behind him.
I appreciate it.
Okay, he's signaled to his teammate that he's trying to help. This is why I really like it when Arty communicates with the teammates, because it really lets them know what we're up to and how we can help them. There's the enemy Arty. It's the GW. The guy who tried to counter battery us. Oh, that shell, I think it hit the building. I only splashed the GW. So he's gone into that corner for the moment, just as self-preservation. He's pulling back out again because he's probably loaded and ready to shoot. He's still spotted though, and he probably doesn't realise that. But the round goes in, and it lands short. But it collects another 163, so he's getting close now. Well, we just managed to kill the SMV CC56. There he is. Oh, onto the gun shield, and that wipes him out and gives Oksydor a top gun. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for Oksydor in the GW Panther. He got a bombardier. He took out 2 enemy tanks with 1 shot. They both standing right next door to each other with low hit points. And when that shell arrives, yes, it detonated both of them at the same time. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, in this one, he managed to get 15. And yes, he got a top gun for killing 6 enemy tanks, that last one being the enemy GW right at the end of the game. His win rate for the game was 3,060, which is Super Unicum standard. Very nice game indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he did get the highest damage on his team. Oksydor got 1,960 hit points, but he didn't get the highest damage overall. It looks like that SMV CC, the enemy tier 7 Italian tank destroyer, managed 1,966 hit points, and he got the high caliber out of that one because that was 20% of our hit pool. And so he got the top, the high caliber, but very close behind because there was only 6 hit points in it right at the end. So it could have been very close. If he just scored a little higher, then he would have got the high caliber instead. But the third highest on damage was the Striv M4257, who helped us out with some of the spotting. He got 1,941, so he wasn't far behind Oksydor as well. When it came to kills, though, it was Oksydor. He got 6 kills out of that game. 3 kills went to the KV-1S on the enemy team, and the GW Panther. Nobody on Oksydor's team managed to get more than 2 kills other than Oksydor. So, unfortunately, he couldn't platoon, even if he wanted to get a Brothers in Arms, because he just wasn't capable of doing it because they just didn't have enough kills. But the next highest scorer was the Striv M42 and the M4A1 FL10. Both had 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, it was the Striv who got the most here. And I think that's down to the fact that he got spotting. Yes, he got 823 hit points of spotting assists on that game. And that helped boost his score up. And he did get a Confederate out of it. And his win rate was 5,171, mostly because he was tier 6 in a tier 7 game. So he was getting extra XP for every tier 7 tank that he was striking during that game, and he did strike a few. Anyway, Oksydor got the second highest base XP, he got 994, and the third highest XP was the KV-1, who got 693. Oksydor fired 21 rounds in that game, got 4 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetration. Now, I suspect that the penetration shot might have been that Stug. We'll just check that now, because I'm interested to know. It was either that or it was one of the little tanks that were taken out in the bombardier. Let's have a look at the Stug. No, it wasn't the Stug that he actually penetrated. And I'm looking for it, and I can't find it at the moment. It wasn't the Leopard. It was the enemy GW Panther. Yes, that last shot that hit the gun shield, it went straight through the gun shield because it's basically there just to stop bullets. It's not supposed to stop a shell at all. And so striking the gun shield on the GW is nearly always a penetration. Very unlikely not to be a penetration for that matter. Anyway, 17 splashes as well, 1,960 hit points, and all of it was at more than 300 meters. He damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 6, so he wasn't that far off getting a Confederate himself in that one. 527 hit points of stun assist of 12 stuns. 36,402 credits on a premium count, and after ammunition and consumables, he took away a profit of 2,722 credits, so not much in the way of credits, but it was a profit nonetheless. 1,491 XP, times 2 for the first victory, took away 2,982 experience points altogether, so a nice solid game for the GW Panther in that one. We do have a second replay, which we can show you, and that's also in a tier 7, but it's a slightly different tier 7. So let's have a look at that replay right now. The second replay is on the Prokhorovka map, South Spawn, and it's the SU-14-1, which is the tier 7 Soviet SPG, but this one's not Soviet because it's got a Ukraine mark of excellence on the barrel of the howitzer, and it's under the command of Wazwulf. Game on. Well, okay, yes, he needs to get over to the west. Well, this Arty is based on the T-35 heavy tank. It was built in 1934 and they possibly made two of them. I'm not absolutely sure, but we believe they did. And they built it from the T-35 heavy tank and bits of the T-28 medium tank as well. Now it actually had cranes where you could lift the shells up, and they moved just about everything on it to put it together. And it was actually revised in 1936. They put a 152mm howitzer on it, which is the one you're looking at the moment with the long barrel. You can have the BR4 or B4 howitzer rather, which has got the 203mm howitzer, and that will do 900 alpha. This one with the 152 is capable of 600 alpha, 38mm of pen, and standard reload 23.97 seconds. The other ones are much longer reload because it's actually 51 seconds, but it comes out about 13. He's got it down, Wazwulf's got it down to 20.74. Okay, enemy tank's been seen up on the hill, and all we're seeing down below at the moment is an EBR-90, but there are a couple of heavy tanks there. In fact, T-29 and a Tiger 1. It's a tier 9 game, so he's bottom tier. Rounds out the T-29. It went to the left and slightly long, so all he got was stun assist out of that one. Or no stun assist at all, just stun. The good thing about this howitzer is that the output, it does fire fairly quickly. It's got a very narrow arc of fire though. It's only 8 degrees in total. And that means that as a Soviet Arty, it does dial in quickly. When he did get a direct hit off that one, for sure, no explosions, so we know we touched the target. Now this Arty does have a long range, and with the top gun it does have high damage as well, very high damage. But you're better off with the small gun because you can get more shots out that way. The stock gun actually has 32 rounds ammo, which is actually pretty good because you get 30 rounds of ammo with the S-51, which is also tier 7, but that one's now been moved to the collector's tab. Oh, he did actually touch the Samur. Got some hit points off him, but not a lot. Rounds out again. Oh, and he dies before our shell gets there. It is a long flight time for the shell, unfortunately, so he wasn't able to get there in time to get some hit points off him. But that T-29 is now very low on hit points, and the Tiger 1's still fairly healthy. Okay, he's loaded. It's going for the Tiger 1, rather. It lands well short of the target this time round. Don't think he got anything off that except frightening the T-29 to pull back quickly. That's better. He's gone to battle assistant. Again, we see that EBR pop up and then disappear. Still nothing in sight. There is enemy tanks on the hill. He might want to consider going over there and firing at those, because if he's not getting anything from the center line, he ought to move to where there are tanks that you can hit. That's good, he's doing it now. Going after that T-29, fires the round in. Oh, lovely one. It hit the top of the turret on the T-29. In fact, it almost looks like it hit the cupola. We'll might get a close look at that any second now to see exactly where it did hit. No, it didn't look like it hit the cupola. I think it... Oh, he's gone! The T-29 is no more. He took a hit from a Shrek and he's out the game. Okay, in the meantime, we've got a Conqueror up at the center line and the T-29 direct hit on the Conqueror. I think Wazwulf is now getting into his groove. Now, apparently, they moved the engine to the front of the vehicle, and the howitzer was in the open on top, right in the middle. As I say, it had 2 cranes to handle the ammo, to move them up, and it had spades as well to distribute the recoil. And in fact, it couldn't fire unless it had those spades in place. And they had to disconnect the suspension in order to shoot, because if they didn't, then it would break the suspension. The vehicle would rock so heavily when it fired, it would break them. It certainly couldn't fire on the move, even though Wargaming have given it the capability of doing shotguns. This Arty just couldn't do them. In fact, you have to wonder, oh, that fell short. That would have been good if it hit the target, because it probably would have been a kill. It was suggested a long time ago that maybe Wargaming could actually offer the possibility of getting increased accuracy, but at the cost of actually having to dig in your spade every time you wanted to fire. I mean, I did suggest that to them as a way of actually improving our accuracy and getting us more hits. But of course, it makes us more vulnerable because we'd be stuck with our spade in the ground. And if the enemy does try to counter battery at that point or send in a light tank, then we stood a chance of actually getting wiped out. Rounds out and Tiger 1 goes long this time. Oh, this is not good. I mean, for a second he was getting good shots, and then all of a sudden it's dried up again. I think really the biggest problem is actually having the procedure or the process, so you could actually see the spade dig in. Wargaming have been good at doing some things, like going to siege mechanic. That's better. And so I don't see why you cannot have a procedure whereby you'd see the Arty laying its spade down, digging in, and then improving its accuracy much better than before. But apparently they haven't gone for it yet. Oh, how did that miss? That went straight past him and exploded in the ground on the other side without doing any damage, and it should have. Okay, we've got an enemy OHO right at the back of the map. Now, this is such a big Arty, he's unlikely to miss it, but I think he's going for the enemy Arty instead, which is an S-51. He spotted a tracer on this side, so he's went for that instead. He's not the only one going for the tracer either, because our teammate in the other Arty, which is the M12, saw something coming out of that general area. Well, the EBR is a splash kill. If we can get around near him, he'll die. But no joy. We're 5 up on the enemy. They are getting kind of desperate now. In fact, we've pushed down from the hill, and the whole east side of the map is now ours. The Star One's taken up residence next to the railway line. That means that T-29 died. Oh, it went long on the Conqueror. He's not having a great game. He's got 1,500 of stun assist and 428 of actual damage so far, but he really does need to get some more hits. Let's see if he can do another one. Rounds out. Much better. Only 167 because it hit the side of a Conqueror, and as you know, the Conqueror is the tier 9. So it does have heavy armor. Okay, it's loaded. Now, one of the big drawbacks with the SU-14-1 is the speed. It's only 30 kilometers an hour and 8 in reverse, so it does move very slowly. Another big drawback is the fact that it's huge. It's absolutely enormous, and it is very difficult to miss it. And it also has a very long aim time as well, so yes, you do need to dial in on a target area, and it takes forever to get there, but once it is there, it's fairly accurate. He just saw Tracer, and I think it was coming from those bushes. But in the meantime, we're going after the OHO, so you have to aim ahead of it. And he got some splash off that one, 219. Actually, it's showing 3 here, so that somebody else must have hit him at the same time. But he's starting to pick up the damage now. 2,000 in stun assist and now 772 actual damage. Just needs a few more good hits. Ah, that's better. The AE Phase 1 tier 9. So he's earning extra from this one. And he's kind of in the open here. Yeah, get behind some cover quick before you become the next victim. The enemy still does have an Arty. But ideally, you just want to get down into this dip here. And the A-base one's gone. And the Shrek is fairly close. It's not too far away. There he is. And he's just over a ridge line as well. They found the S-51. He fired a round in. He hit the Shrek. He definitely got a hit on him. And the Shrek's gone. And that means now that is the end of the game. Well, despite the fact that it appeared that he wasn't actually doing that much damage, he did get an ace tanker out of that game. Yeah, amazingly, yes, he did actually get it. And it was a hidden one because, of course, he did get a few blind hits. And some of those blind hits actually were rather good. So he ended up with an ace tanker, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7. And he got a Confederate because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out. And of course, he didn't get a single kill in the game, but he did hit a lot of the enemy team, as you can see here. And his win rate was 2,383, which again is a good score. Very good, but not a Unicum or Super Unicum level. Let's have a look at team score. Well, not the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Shrek on his own team. Got a high caliber for 4,276 hit points. The second highest damage in the game actually went to the Shrek on the enemy team with 3,907. And the third highest damage went to the E75 with 3,187. And we can see the Wazwulf got 1,859 hit points out of that one. And he easily was the best Arty in that game because the M12 only got 1,058 and the S-51 on the enemy team only got 1,158. And so, yes, they weren't performing quite as good as he was. Their GW got 1,057. So he did very well, actually. Combined damage was, I think it was around the 5k mark. When it came to kills, he was much further down the table because he didn't get any at all. The top scorers being the STA-1 with 4 kills and the Shrek on the enemy team also with 4. 3 kills went to the AE Phase 1 and he picked up a Spartan and Steel Wall, as was that Shrek was getting that high caliber. And when it came to base XP, he's much further up the table because the STA-1 got 1,248. Remember, he was tier 8 in a tier 9 game. And we can see Wazwulf, even with only 1,859 actual damage, 1,193 XP from that one because he was tier 7 and he was hitting tier 9 opponents and getting quite a bit of damage off them. 22 shots fired, 9 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations but 18 splash. Damage of 1,859 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He hit 9 of the enemy and didn't get any kills, but he got 3,195 hit points of stun assist off 17 stuns. So yes, very close to 5k. 17 stun scores. Oh yeah. So it means that not all of his shots actually did hit the target. We did see a fair number of them actually miss and fall short or fall long. 67,997 credits from the battle. After ammunition resupply took away 43,357 credits profit. 1,789 XP, 10,740 for completing a mission in that one, 12,529 experience points altogether. So 2 very different games. One which actually turns out to be a first class but gets a bombardier and a top gun, and the other one turns out to be an ace tanker, a kind of sly one that he didn't actually realize he'd done. And that does happen to a lot of us. You know, you're playing a game, you think, oh, I'm not doing very well in this one. But it turns out you've had so many blind hits on the enemy and done so much damage to them and the stun assist that it all adds up and you end up with an ace tanker and you think, how did that happen? Well, he certainly helped his team in that game anyway. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.